Consumer Protection Act and vouchers. The Consumer Protection Act, or the CPA, has been around for about 7 years now. We often get questions from clients who ask us about issuing vouchers, the validity of vouchers, and whether there are any legal requirements around the issuing of vouchers. So I thought today we'd deal with some of the most frequently asked questions we get in this regard. First things first, Section 63 of the CPA regulates the terms attached to the provision of all gift vouchers. What does Section 63 provide in broad strokes? It says that all prepaid certificates, credits, and vouchers must be valid for a period of at least 3 years from the date of issue. So that has some important ramifications. If you are putting a voucher on Wiki Deals or Daddy's Deals, that voucher has to be valid for 3 years. Bear that in mind when you are doing it at a really knockdown price. The Consumer Commission can apply a penalty of up to 10% of your business's annual turnover, and it doesn't matter how big or small your business is if you're not complying with the rules. They'll also make your life quite difficult while they are investigating. So back to the most frequently asked questions. One of the questions we get is, our business prints free vouchers in local newspapers, post them on Facebook or Instagram, and do we have to keep those vouchers valid for 3 years? Do we have to comply with the Act? An important proviso in the provisions of Section 63 is that the voucher must be issued for consideration. What does consideration mean? Consideration means that it has to be not only in the exchange of money, which is what we normally associate it with, but it can also be for bartering or any promise or undertaking. So if you're issuing that voucher and the customer promises they will bring in 3 other customers, there is some consideration being paid, and that voucher is therefore a voucher in terms of the Consumer Protection Act. If it's simply a freebie, it's simply to get people through the door. So you have a nail bar and you're saying we'll do a free mini manicure for every full pedicure, then that's consideration because there is a barter, there's a value attached to it. If it's simply come to us and get a free mini manicure, that's a gift. The rules of the CPA don't apply to it. What about vouchers that have expired? What are you meant to do? So let's look at the example where you've published a voucher on Wiki Deals or Daddy's Deals for a 3-month period. Hair appointments need to be made by the end of August. Someone comes in October. Do I need to comply with the terms of that voucher? Yes, you do. That voucher is valid for 3 years from the date of issue. There's no way of getting around it. The next question we often get is, do I have to give cash back if the consumer doesn't want to take up that voucher? That's a bit of a tricky area. The Act isn't quite clear and we don't have any guidance. What we suggest you do is print quite clearly on the face of the voucher that it's not redeemable for cash. That's the way to avoid confusion. The Act isn't clear, so the consumer may demand that they get cash back, but if you've put it out very clearly from the start, they'll know what their rights are. And it'll avoid any unnecessary unhappiness on anybody's behalf. The final question is, we're in a service-driven business and costs always increase. It's impossible to peg the price of that service for 3 years. What do we do? Again, this is quite a difficult one, but what I suggest you do is put the value of the voucher on the face of the voucher. So if you said the voucher is for a blow dry at your hair salon, it's for a free tune-up of your car, put the value of that item there. So if the price does increase over the 3 years, or if there's been any other escalation, you can say to the customer, look, the value of the whatever service is now 330 Rand. You have a voucher for 300 Rand. Pay 30 Rand more to get this, or spend the 300 Rand on a lesser valued service. Obviously you need to be careful about this so you're not exploiting the customer, otherwise you might run into some issues. But if it's legitimately that the price has escalated, you are entitled to do it. But I would definitely recommend putting the price of the value of the item on the voucher's face. So 300 Rand voucher is equal to 300 Rand's worth of service, and inflation won't be a burden on your business if you're offering that kind of service. We hope that helped you out with some frequently asked questions on vouchers, and please have a look at Law Unlocked. Hopefully we can help you some more. Thanks.